Good evening, and welcome to another broadcast of Super News Station. Tonight's top story is that from our nation's capital. The people of Washington, D.C. have been shook and surprised by this breaking news. The last remaining ferry that takes people across the Potomac River is shutting down. The ferry service has been in operation since the 1700s, and it carried some of our founding fathers across the Potomac River. This comes as shocking news as the family who owns the ferry is having a land dispute with a farmer, and also it went to court in Maryland and Virginia, and it was finally decided that the ferry would close. Michael, what do you have to say about this?
Well, Chad, I'm here at the Potomac River, and people are devastated. It's been here since the 1700s, and George Washington has used it. What's the next news?
In New York City, residents of a Queens neighborhood are dealing with a squirrely threat. There is a squirrel that has been attacking people. He climbs up on balconies and he's biting multiple people. One lady said, "We were wrestling in the snow and there's blood everywhere and my finger's getting chewed and it just won't let go. Eventually, it just stopped and there I was, a big bloody mess." A photo of her shows she took after the attack shows a snowy pathway covered in blood. "This was an MMA cage match and I lost," she said. Two other neighbors told us that the squirrel had jumped on them and bit them, one man on the ear and the other one on the shoulder. "These squirrels are aggressively going after people," they said. The city's Department of Health advised the neighbors to hire a professional trapper. Several traps were set around the balconies, but no squirrels have been caught at this time. It is unknown why this squirrel is attacking people, and it could be more than one squirrel that's attacking people. Michael, tell us more about this.
Well, Chad, I'm here in Queens, New York, and this is just crazy. A squirrel killing people while biting them? Scientists are still studying this guy, and it's pretty crazy, and they don't know why he's doing this. Back to you, Chad.
Maryland transportation officials announced that a tractor trailer had spilled onto the highway over 20,000 pounds of cheese balls. The cheese balls exploded across 3 lanes of traffic with a bright yellow array everywhere as cars came to a halt. Also, a tanker truck spilled, and luckily they got sand there in time so the cheese balls did not go up in flames. Our correspondent Michael is on the scene in Maryland. Michael, how does it smell there?
Well, the cheese balls are up to my knees, and I really want to eat these, but they have sand and gas on them. That's pretty sad, because they're not for eating, but I love cheese balls, so if you ever come here and try to eat them, don't. And if that gas poured on the Cheetos and without the sand, it would catch a huge explosion. Because gas can cause a fire, gasoline will cause a fire, and also an explosion sometimes. Back to you, Chad!
A man in New York State filed a class action lawsuit against King's Hawaiian Company. The manufacturer of Hawaiian-style rolls has Hilo, Hawaii on the packaging, he says, but on the back of the packaging, it says they are actually made in Florence, California. The man is very upset by this as he feels like he was misled and he thought they were authentic Hawaiian rolls. The company has yet to respond to this lawsuit. When reached for comment, they had no comment. Michael, tell us more about this.
Well, I'm in Hawaii, Chad, and this is just crazy. He is devastated as heck. Like, devastated. I can't believe he's suing the company, and I don't agree with this, because who cares? Back to you, Chad.
After being on hiatus since 2018, PBS announced that they were canceling the hit cartoon Caillou. It's been on the air for over 20 years and originally started in 1997, but PBS made the decision to pull the plug, so there is no more Caillou episodes coming. Michael, what can you tell us about this?
Well, this is crazy. My childhood is being canceled. I don't know why he's being canceled. Maybe people are not just watching him anymore. But this is what Caio looks like. If you don't know who Caio is, that he's a little bald kid that is 4 years old and has a little sister named Rosie. And I don't know why he's bald. But anyways, here's a fact. The voice of Caillou died when he was 17. So Caillou's being canceled. And I watched Caillou as a little kid. Caillou is a kid that, I don't know what he teaches kids, but he's a crybaby and a brat. So, yeah. That's all I have to say. Back to you, Chad.
Big news out of West Virginia. The new River Gorge has been announced as the nation's newest national park. It becomes the 63rd national park in the United States, which means a major influx of tourist money will be coming into West Virginia, and particularly Raleigh County and surrounding counties. The existing New River Gorge area spans more than 70,000 acres, but according to Congress's Designation Act, it'll be divided into two sections, the park and the preserve. The park, which includes some of the most scenic slivers of waterfront, will only be 7,000 acres. The remaining 65,000 acres will make up the preserve, providing ample space for people to continue hunting and fishing legally. This is huge news for West Virginia, and it's a great place that really deserves an accolade like this. It's awesome that it's finally a national park. Michael is live on the New River Gorge Bridge. What do you have to say?
Well, I'm on the bridge, and here it is huge. And West Virginia, wow, it's beautiful here, man. But look at this bridge, it's big. I just can't describe anything about it. Like, man, Chad, you wish you were here. Wow. And my grandparents live in West Virginia. And also, I have an 84 great-grandmother that is 84. I think I just said that, but whatever, that lives here. Back to you, Chad!
In a scene right out of the hit movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure from the 80s, a homeless Atlanta man rescued hundreds of dogs and cats from a burning animal shelter. He arrived to take his dog for a walk, who he had made arrangements for his dog to stay there on colder nights, and found the structure engulfed in flames. He quickly leaped into action, kicked in the door, and started rescuing dogs and cats. He got them all outside, and none of them were harmed. The facility was deemed irreparable, and now, thanks to the people of Atlanta, they've got a new facility already ready to go, and all the animals are doing fine. This man is a true hero. Don't you agree, Michael?
Well, Chad, I agree with you. This guy is a true hero. He should be one of the Americans, he should have his own statue saying that America's person that saved a bunch of cat and dogs from a burning house. And, man, I wish I could meet this guy, but I can't. That guy was brave enough to go in there. Oh, and this reminds me of a lady that was knocking on their neighbor's door, and then when the neighbors answered, the neighbor's house was on fire, and she saved the neighbors. So, that's another fact about the news I just told you. Back to you, Chad!
In Colorado, they have found a species of apple that was believed to be extinct. They are now going to attempt to mass produce this apple. It is an orange-colored apple, so it will stand out on the grocery store shelves. It was in its heyday in the 1800s, but by the 20th century, there was a huge demand for red apples. So multicolored apples did not survive this time period, and it was mostly red and a few yellow. But this one orange apple has survived in a forest in Colorado untouched for nearly 75 or 80 years. And they are now able to make these apples available at your local grocery store in the next couple of years. It has a tangerine blush peel, and it has a sweet tart taste. Michael, are you excited to eat these apples?
Oh yeah, Chad, I'm excited to eat that apple. I wonder what it tastes like. And it's an orange apple. I wonder what it tastes like. Wonder if it tastes like a regular apple, or would it taste like an orange? But I don't know. How do you like them apples?
In a follow-up to a story on our previous show, United, Delta, and American Airlines has joined Alaska Airlines in banning emotional support animals. You could no longer bring an antelope, a sheep, a horse, or a badger onto any of their airplanes. This news takes effect immediately. There will no longer be allowed unless you have a trained service dog for a disabled person. That is it. From now on, dogs only on airplanes. I expect other airlines to follow suit because people keep bringing crazy things onto planes, claiming that it's for emotional support. Michael, how do you feel about this?
Well, I'm next to an airplane, and I think it's crazy they only let dogs on the airplanes. You know what? I think all animals should be on there, unless if they're poisonous or venomous. So, yeah, that's it. Back to you, Chad.
In Florida man news, a Florida man found himself face to face with the police when he was caught driving his van down a highway and throwing golf clubs at oncoming cars. According to troopers, this 41-year-old man was driving north on I-75. During his drive, they say he was throwing golf clubs out of his van at adjacent and oncoming traffic. He initially complied with the troopers' instructions to disarm himself of the clubs, but he then resisted and attempted to hit the troopers with his golf clubs. He was finally taken down with a taser. Michael, can you believe this?
Well, I think it's crazy, and I'm glad the police caught him. I don't know why he would do that. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Do you guys know? Does everybody know? I don't know. He knows, the guy that threw the golf carts. Anyways, that's just crazy. Back to you, Chad.
Our final story tonight is another Florida man story, this time out of Naples. A Florida man was arrested Tuesday after stealing all the chicken wings at the local 7-Eleven. He walked in, put on gloves, and right in front of the clerk, he's proceeded to steal every single chicken wing and a few other hot food items. It's not known if he took any tenders or nuggets, but he did take wings. The Collier County Sheriff's Office was called to the convenience store around 8:23 p.m. after the man took the food items and left the store. The clerk said the man, who had not been identified, has been in the store before. The last time, he ate 3 chicken wings in front of the clerk and then left without paying. The man left the store in a car with 2 other people. Deputies later pulled over the vehicle. All 3 people were detained while the suspect was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. It is not known whether he shared the chicken with his fellow passengers. Michael, what do you think about this?
Man, another Florida man? How many Florida guys have we had in this news today? But still, I think this guy is crazy, man. I say crazy a lot, but whatever. But still, you know what? I'm glad he got arrested. And if you better not steal wings, man. I love wings. So, this is our final news story. Well, I gotta fly. I gotta get my personal person that flights me back to Chad. That I go in airplane. All right. Well, I'll see you later. I'll see you in like an hour, Chad.
Acme's family of fine stores is giving you more reasons than ever to shop with us. Look at this week's advertised specials. Complement your meals with Kraft Deluxe Macaroni and Cheese or Shells and Cheese, only $1.29. Oscar Mayer Red Rind Bologna in the 12-ounce size, only 88 cents. And delicious Ballard salads, potato, macaroni, coleslaw, and baked beans. The 3-pound tub, only $1.98. Quality products at low, low prices. It just makes dollars and cents to shop at Acme's family of fine stores.
Welcome back to the studio, Michael. That was some excellent on-field reporting.
Thanks, Chad.
In some other news, the Alabama Crimson Tide won the National Football Championship. And in sad news, the Cleveland Browns defeated the once undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. And then they went on to lose to the Chiefs in the next round. So that's about it. Other than that.
And also, I want to tell you, there was a storm, a big storm in Canada. It was only in one place in Canada. And also, a lot of fences came off. A lot of stuff came off.
Trees.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Winds reached up to 146
I
miles
actually
per hour.
traveled to there, and I was just driving, and I needed to get a car washed. So then I went in there, and I saw a fence knocked down, and it was like, man, so